So, a lot of therapists out there teach anger management skills, but I think a more effective way to approach this is to teach people how to get angry less so that you're walking through the world not even having to use anger management skills because you're actually less irritated, less annoyed with people. So, this sort of takes a mindset shift, and I'm going to explain to you three things that you can start doing today to change your view of the world so that you get less annoyed and less agitated with people in general. So the number one thing to remember is that most of the time people are doing the best they can. Now, I know this is hard to believe because we see some people do some really shady and crazy things, but most of the time, people are doing the best they can based on the resources they have at the time, based on the family they were raised in, based on maybe their education level. We need to be generous in our assumptions of people and assume that in that moment, they're doing the best they can. So the second thing to remember is that people usually aren't trying to annoy us or irritate us. Now, I say most of the time because there are exceptions. There are people and partners who will try to push our triggers. But for the most part, usually people aren't trying to annoy us. So let's say I'm driving and somebody suddenly cuts me off in traffic. Now, they aren't trying to annoy me. It's just a behavior they engaged in that had nothing to do with me. So I can give that my energy if I want to. I can, speed up, honk my horn, roll my window down, have some road rage. But I need to remember in that moment that they aren't trying to annoy me. They're just doing what they feel like they have to do in the moment. It's not about me. I can't take that personally. So that's just one example. But the third thing that we can remember is that your way of doing things is not the only way to do them. A lot of times we're really judgmental. We think somebody's doing something the wrong way, but there is more than one way to get the same outcome in a situation. So I'll give you this example. I used to work at a men's residential facility and they had to cook meals for each other. There were maybe 2 people that would cook all the meals for 15 guys. And one day on the menu was chicken salad. So this one guy was responsible for making chicken salad for 15 other men. And so he made the chicken salad the way he was raised to make the chicken salad, which included putting some nuts in it and some grapes and other fruit. And that's the way that he learned to make chicken salad from his family. And so he brings in this dish for the guys to make their sandwiches. And half of the guys were really upset that he had ruined the chicken salad. And they were just like insulting me, like, how dare you, like, you ruined our lunch. How dare you put this fruit in our chicken salad? And he had no idea that he had done something wrong because that's the way he was actually raised to make it. So you see, a lot of times, people are doing the best they can. He actually made it according to his family, his culture. And to him, that was the right way, which angered half of the other clients because they thought he ruined it. So whenever we see somebody doing something differently than that we would do it, we just need to remember that they're doing it in the way that works for them. And there really is more than one right way to do most things. So if we can change these 3 things in our mindset, think of how much less we would be irritated with people. We want to think generously of people at all times. We want to notice that they are doing the best they can. And so we want to be as generous to other people as we expect them to be generous to us. So think about this. Nobody actually thinks they are a bad driver. Have you ever heard anybody say, yeah, I'm a really bad driver. I cut people off all the time. I speed all the time. I get in accidents all the time. Almost everybody I know says I'm a good driver and these other people are bad drivers. So just keep that in mind. Nobody thinks they're a bad driver. Everybody's doing the best they can in that moment and doing what they need to do to get where they need to go. So I hope this has been helpful. Leave comments below if you agree or disagree. I'll be glad to go back and forth with this. It's pretty fun to think about it. So, and feel free to visit my channel for some other tips for managing anxiety, depression, and managing thoughts.